Today G2 managed to get another win on the board. As we talked on the previous video, I felt that it was extremely important for them to get two conditions on the draft, being the first one, the fact that they could get a replacement for the Heimerdinger in order for the bot lane could hold on and not fall too early, like it happened on the previous game that G2 had when they lost against PvP. And one replacement that I felt it was really good, it was Jhin, which they managed to pick today with the Tahm Kench as well, which is really important. Makes it a bot lane extremely safe, hard to dive, and with a good potential of push. And even though they got ganked on the first minutes, that didn't matter at all, because they could never exercise a big pressure onto that bot tower and start opening the game early enough.
But it is G2 that will secure first tower blood. They'll give all the goals over to Wunder, and it is now 3 kills to 2 in favor of G2 Jankos.
And the second one was that Wunder would get a split pusher, a carry split pusher. That was not Ryze, that was an AD split pusher with the likes of Aatrox, Urgot or Camille, where he got the Camille today on a matchup that is not exactly really easy against the Sion, but Wunder is a specialist on this kind of matchups. He managed to play it really well.
That bottom lane, but look at the damage from Wunder. This is Trinity Force Camille. She does so much work to the turret, it's not even a concern. It's already taken down to about 10%.
As we talked already, the fact that the bot lane, even though the first gank happened, didn't fall early, they managed to get a bit of wouldn't say pressure, but a bit of wave control. Also, the fact that Jankos was on a jungler, that his role was really easy inside of the game, where he had to farm until level 6, and after that exercise the pressure that the Nocturne level 6 has, where he did it extremely well. And after that, the fact that their swap and the first play that happened, the first big play that happened on bot lane this time around, was made from G2 with a 5-man into bot side. But this happened when Wunder was already getting his core items, which meant that when G2 managed to make a swap and try to speed up the game so that they could open the tier 1s and allow Wunder and Perks to have a good opportunity for a 1-3-1 scenario, Wunder already had the Triforce and the Tiamat, which meant that Wunder was already on in the game. He could win already the split push battle kind of against Sion, and that was a really big window for G2 to start taking over the game. Perks also managed to get the top tower, taking advantage of the fact that they were in tempo advantage and they managed to recall early on. And after that, I also think that the bot lane played extremely well, and also the fact that G2 was only making plays on sides whenever their bot lane that was in mid had the opportunity to Tahm Kench ulti into a side, and obviously creating a man advantage situation. After that, we all saw that the situation on Nash, where they have Camille split pushing.
Wunder doing split push things once again.
Wunder, I already talked about this guy doing so much work for G2 so far at Worlds.
With only a bait of making them either TP or just walking there and forcing them to defend the Nash, so Camille would only stay on a 1v1 scenario and manage to take at least the tower. She ended up taking more as well. They had to do something in order to stop the split push, and obviously the easiest way that you can stop a split push is avoiding the split pusher to push. If you have a Baron, Camille will have a hard time pushing those empowered minions, and Sion is on a situation where he can just stay on the wave, doesn't need to fight Camille. Camille cannot push as fast as the other 4 members can push because of the Baron buff. So they make this call to go to Nash. G2 realized that this is a great opportunity for Wunder to take more than just the Nash, and even if they lost Nash, which was the case, their 4 members could find a way to stop the recalls, or maybe even win a fight there, which would allow Wunder to take a lot. I don't think that they were counting on finishing the game, but obviously Camille at that point, a really strong split pusher, takes the towers extremely fast, so they managed to win the game.
Wunder's taking down the base. He's on to Nexus turret number 2. He's got the cannon minions. G2 just needs to stop the back.
I think they can still improve with recognizing what is the role of Jankos in a game, and in this case, since he was a level 6, jungler that he wants to farm until level 6 and then exercise pressure with his ultimate. I think that G2 could have done a bit of a better job preventing those early ganks, which might have been a bit problematic to them if their bot lane wasn't as invulnerable as this Jhin Tahm was. Fnatic game doesn't have that much to talk about. They had a extremely smart comp, in my opinion. The fact that they managed to get the Ryze unpunished, or the trade from Ryze to Galio, I think it's a really good trade for a team that plays like them. I really like to see Broxa on Lee Sin. I think is a signature champion for him, and I think it's a really good matchup into Camille that can contest her earlier. I think it comes a bit from the mistakes that G-Rex was doing, especially onto that dive on the top lane where they couldn't synergize properly the CC. The taunt was used too early. They forgot to kill the last minion, so the minions would attack Bwipo after the taunt, and there wouldn't be a minion available for Caps to TP.
He flashes the wall. Caps comes chasing. First blood to Fnatic.
But I think it's really good that Fnatic is able to recognize that teams will try to play aggressive against them, and that they are ready to collapse with the favorable situations, like this TP on top and also the play on bot lane, which completely opened the game. I would say even finished the game in a way where Fnatic managed to kill four members down there, and after that it was extremely easy for them to get the mid prio, with Caps getting also a kill onto the top lane, getting the mid prio and starting dominating that river on bot lane where that bot lane had constant bot prio. So the attempts of dives were extremely easy for them, and we saw a similar pattern on their win today and their win on the first day that they played, where it's all about getting that mid prio, translating that mid prio into the bot river, diving their bot lane, taking the bot tower, and after that rotating. And I think that Fnatic was extremely clean into the snowball this game, except on one point, and there's where I think that they can improve. That was the swap. They need to recognize that the fact that they have Kai'Sa and the enemy team has a Galio as well, it's a bit hard to play on their jungle. I would prefer to see them in this kind of situation, instead of pushing into the top side of the jungle and forcing a fight there. If they would have played it a bit mechanically better, they could win the fight. But for me, the safer and the better way to snowball in those situations is, if they want to match you, what you can do is just send your bot pushing that wave. I know it doesn't have TP. You push the top tower as well, and then you play around your top lane movement, where you can choose where Sivir is going to go, because even if they have TP, they still cannot fight you. You just push the top wave with your bot lane, you just push the bot wave with your Ornn, you make him rotate, and then you decide if you want to take Sivir down from top to mid and take that mid tower with the Ornn movement, or if you want to do Herald and then you fight there because someone has to catch the bot wave that Ornn just pushed, or in this case, if you want to rotate fully to the top side where Ornn stays mid and Ryze just goes top lane, and you make that 4-man dive, which already a member on bot side. I think that was the only moment that Fnatic dropped the ball a bit, but overall a really good game, a really consistent game with good snowball and some really good ideas.
Substitute with the minions to kill Stitch! Fnatic finishing style!
So that's the end of day 4. Tomorrow we have Group B. Need to see if Vitality can make it out of groups or not. I think that they have a hard time doing it, but I still believe on them. As I said, I think that they can perfectly win against the best team, but and they can also lose against the worst team. So I think that it's going to be a matter of how their emotional stability is on that day, and how that day starts, because they start with the hardest opponent, that is RNG in terms of match, and I think that they will lose that game, but they still need to be emotionally stable in order to manage to grab those 2 wins, which I think is extremely possible for them, and with that either getting a tiebreaker or just getting out of groups immediately. So that's it for day 4. We see you guys tomorrow.